When we want to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 150 pounds or 250 pounds, we sort of just see ourselves at the end, and whatever it is that we want, it's out there somewhere. And then when we're in between, it's really hard to appreciate what that someone out there has to offer us. But when we have a destination postcard or a wellness vision, we really sit down and start fleshing out what the person we become does. Welcome to the Beyond the Scale podcast. I am your host, Darrylynn. I am a master nutrition coach and an expert in the psychology of eating. I'm here to explore fundamentals of nutrition and behavior change and help you discover your best self by overcoming the appeal of your own excuses, challenging the stories you tell yourself about food, and learning what will fuel the life of your dreams. So lots of times as a nutrition coach, and I'm talking to my clients, we talk about what we're doing, what happened this week, how you're feeling this week, what did we eat this week, what did we want to eat this week, what did we eat at night after the kids went to bed? We have lots and lots of discussions like that. But today I want to talk to you about where we're going. So last week I was in New York. My son had an event and he's 16, so he didn't really need me. And so basically my job that week was to watch musical theater, which I love, and eat all of the fabulous food of New York. And some of it is super nice and fancy food, and some of it is New York pizza, and some of it is bagels, and some of it is going to my favorite pastry shop. So I did a little of all of that. But something struck me while I was there. I also worked out every day. What kind of person does that? A healthy person. But for a long time in my journey of losing 180 pounds, that was like, I don't even know, like some language I didn't understand. Like, why would you go on vacation and go to a gym? And if you're a super healthy person that's been healthy your whole life, you're like, why wouldn't you go to the gym on vacation? I actually remember the first time I went to a gym on vacation, and it was in Florida, and I felt like such a badass. Like suddenly I was such a different person because at a time when my coach wasn't there and I wasn't at home and it wasn't super convenient and I don't really know what to do in a regular gym, I went to the gym, and my coach had given me an EMOM, a workout that's like every minute on the minute, and I did it every single day. Now, last week when I was in New York, I went to the gym. I walked 32,000 steps on a lot of the days, but I also kept my room sort of a sacred space. I ordered a Target delivery, which brought me 6 gallons of water. I had some protein shakes, pre-made protein shakes delivered to my room. I made sure that I had vitamins. I made sure that I had my supplements. So why am I telling you all of this? I'm telling you this because I had a vision for myself that someday I would be the kind of person that would do weird things like have protein shakes delivered to her hotel room. Now, I know that's kind of a small example, but the more I look around at my environment, the more I notice that I really do live in a place, whether that's at home or on my travels, of a healthy person. And this is a vision I have for myself that I've looked forward to over time. And I really want to encourage you to do that too. So in coaching, we call this the destination postcard. Some coaches call it a wellness vision. Either way, whatever you want to call it. It's a vision of yourself in the future. You see, when we want to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 150 pounds or 250 pounds, we sort of just see ourselves at the end, and whatever it is that we want, it's out there somewhere. And then when we're in between, it's really hard to appreciate what that someone out there has to offer us. But when we have a destination postcard or a wellness vision, we really sit down and start fleshing out what the person we become does. Now, if you have children, you've probably done this. So you can picture your adorable little 5-year-old then like becoming an adorable 10-year-old. And it's hard to imagine your adorable 10-year-old being a less adorable 15-year-old, but it's coming. But over time, you can kind of see, and then you see like how they'll be when they go to college and how they'll be when they're parents themselves or how they'll be in their career. We have that vision for other people, but somehow we think we don't need to do it for ourselves. In fitness, we also like to talk about your whys. What are the whys? Why are we doing this? Why are we on this nutrition program? Why are we working out 3 days a week? Why did we choose Fit Body? And that's really, really important to know your why. But sometimes when you know your why, it's kind of shallow. Like it's not really profound until you apply it. For example, if your why is you want to buy super adorable clothes, right? You want to have like super cute clothes and a great wardrobe, but like you are a stay-at-home mom and you're in, Lululemon leggings and a tank top, then on those days when you're tired of being the mom in fitness clothes at home with your kiddos, it's not going to be very compelling that you want to be able to fit in cute clothes at some point because you're always in workout clothes, right? And in the same way, like if you really want to go on really fabulous vacations and have amazing adventures someday, it's not very compelling, like when you're out with your friends and having nachos and margaritas, that you're going to say no to those things because of this distant vacation that's so far away. There's so many days and weeks and months between nachos and margaritas right now and this really cool vacation. And so when we talk about whys, having our whys, it can be a great tool, but it can't be the only tool. It's not strong enough. It's not strong enough to get you through those tough days. Because if a why, the problem with whys is there's so much space between them, where you are now, and where you want to get. But with a destination postcard or a wellness vision, we spend some time really fleshing out like who you'll be, what you'll do. So this future version of you that's healthy and fit, where does she shop? Who does she hang out with? What does she read? Where does she vacation? Where does she go out to dinner? What is in her cup in her SUV when she's dropping her kiddo off at soccer practice? What does she drink on a Friday night? Who does she hang out with? What is she listening to on her phone? All of those things come into play when someone is looking for their life. If you want to have control around food, and that's your future version has control around food, then right now you're going to want to start practicing having some control around food. And being aware of that ultimate desire is really powerful. So back in the day, people would say things like, nothing tastes as good as being thin feels. And that was so flat for me because I didn't know what it felt like to be thin or to be fit. I had no idea. And so if I was deciding between tacos and margaritas right now or this future like abstract being thin, being fit, I was always going to pick the tacos and margaritas because they're right here and I know about those being amazing, right? And so I need you to start thinking about what it is you want in the future. The reason this works is there's a part of our brain called the RAS. It stands for Reticular Activating System. Now, it's really powerful. If you've ever been shopping for a car and let's say you were shopping for a red Honda. Well, when you started shopping for the red Honda, all of a sudden, there were red Hondas everywhere. Have you ever noticed that? That everywhere you went, you were like, "There's a red Honda. Ooh, that's a nice Honda. Ooh, I like the top on that one. Ooh, I like the gray inside." Right? We start noticing them everywhere, and the reason for that is our reticular activating system. Our reticular activating system, or the RAS, goes to work to find what we've told it we want. So in the case of the car, we told it we wanted a red Honda. And so it's showing us all the red Hondas. Now, those red Hondas were there before, but our brain didn't know we were looking for it. Now, when you take the opportunity to flesh out what it is in your life that you want, whether it's smaller jeans or whether it's being able to hike Mount Everest, your brain is going to go to work to show you opportunities to get to that goal. It's actually really, really amazing. And it helps you stay the course and it helps you stay engaged in your goals because your brain is looking for opportunities to achieve that. It also works the opposite way. If you're doing things that don't align with this wellness vision, with this destination postcard, your brain points that out too. So when you're on track, Your brain's like, oh yeah, I forgot. We're a healthy person. She said we were going to be the kind of healthy person that hikes Mount Everest. That must mean what? That must be why we're going to Fit Body to get our workout in, right? But it also is going to point it out when you do things that aren't on track. Maybe I should stop at one margarita because remember, I'm going to be hiking Mount Everest. This doesn't seem aligned with where we were going. Your brain's going to point that out too. But if you never take the time to flesh out what it is you want, then you're never going to get there accidentally. So last week when I was in New York and I was discovering like, look at me, I brought like 2 pairs of tennis shoes and I brought leggings and I brought tank tops and those were all things that my future self was going to do because I've made a promise to myself that I'm going to be healthy and agile and smart. And so I brought my books. Like I was aligning myself with my wellness vision without even trying because I've constantly been reminding myself about the things that I want going forward. So my wellness vision reflects this version of myself, and it says, I lead by example in my self-care, finances, and fitness. I am strong and agile in mind and body. And as I get older, it means more and more important to me. When I want to skip a workout and I have a part in my wellness vision that talks about my future grandchildren, I don't want to skip the workout because I won't be able to do the things that I have planned to do as a grandma to my non-existent grandchildren yet. So to be clear, like my vision for myself and your vision for yourself can be totally different. Like this is your vision, but I want you to think about the small things. What does your kitchen look like? What does your refrigerator look like? What does your car look like? Who are the people you're hanging out with? Because all of those have a lot to do with where you're going and how you'll get there. You won't ever get there accidentally. You're going to have to seek it out. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Beyond the Scale. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe and leave us a review. And don't forget to share this episode with someone who might need a little bit of encouragement on their health journey. Now, I have provided you with a resource in the show notes for making your own destination postcard. This is a really great exercise that I hope you'll take some time to do. You'll find all the pages that I do with my very own clients there. Now, if you're my client, you've probably already done this exercise, but I work this exercise with all of my clients because I think it's so powerful. And I wanted to provide it here for you too. So in the show notes, you will find a beautiful worksheet that you can go through and create your own destination postcard or wellness vision. I really hope you'll take the time to do it because in those days, in those moments, in those times when it does not seem worth it, when it doesn't seem real, and when you don't think you'll get there, having this vision written out and ready for you is so powerful. And then once you do it, read it. Put it somewhere that's powerful for you. Maybe on your desk or on the refrigerator or in the bathroom on the mirror. Somewhere that you'll see it really often. It'll be really amazing for you. It'll help you make progress on those days when you just don't think you can. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Beyond the Scale. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe and leave us a review. And don't forget to share this episode with someone who might need a little encouragement on their health journey. Until next time, take care and stay healthy.